Chapter 4 is focused on ethics in corrections in particular. Morality and ethics are not the same thing. Sometimes people use them interchangeably, but they really are not the same thing. Morality is the idea of personal beliefs, personal ideas, personal philosophies or principles. And often one's sense of morality is based on religious teachings. Not always, but sometimes. Whereas ethics is broader, it is focused on societal ideas of what is right and wrong. And so when we think about morality and ethics, sometimes those two things overlap and sometimes they don't. But they are two different things. In this chapter, you will learn about two systems of ethics, the deontological system of ethics and the teleological system of ethics. The deontological system is focused on asking the question, is the act itself right or good? Doesn't matter what the consequences are, but is the act itself right or good? Whereas teleological systems of ethics are focused on asking the question, what are the consequences of an act? Here's a quick example. We know that we're not supposed to lie. Okay, so from a deontological perspective, lying is wrong. The act itself is bad. On the other hand, many people believe that it's okay to tell what is often termed a little white lie. That's more of the teleological approach of ethics, because there the question is, what are the consequences of telling this little white lie? If your boss asks you, hey, how do you like my new hairstyle? Or what do you think of my idea? And you think it's terrible, that the hairstyle makes that person look ridiculous. Maybe you don't say that. Maybe you say, it looks great, really like it. Or maybe you say, I like your idea, I wish I had thought of it. You're telling a white lie, but is it hurting anybody? What are the consequences? Well, one could argue the consequences are good because you stay on the good side of your supervisor. Others might argue that you shouldn't lie, not even if it helps to keep you on the good side of your boss. Telling a lie is wrong, no matter what. Whether you agree with the deontological view or the teleological view is quite personal, and some of it does have to do with how you learned or where you learned, from whom you learned your sense of right and wrong, because we all have a sense of right and wrong. We all have an idea of what we believe to be right and wrong, and we weren't born with that in our heads. It came from somewhere. We learned from the people around us, and likely for many of us, it was our families who first began to create these ideas of right and wrong. And of course, we went to school. Schools helped to build on those ideas, and of course, maybe religion, maybe your peers, etc. And so I think this chapter is really fascinating because there's also a focus on why people, in particular correctional officers, sometimes do unethical things. There are maybe reasons why people sometimes do unethical things. Maybe the reasons are good, maybe the reasons are bad, maybe the consequences are good, maybe they're bad. But there is a code of ethics for most professions, all the professions that I can think of, yes, including lawyers, even though many people don't think we have one, we do. For doctors, nurses, architects, dentists, therapists, you name it. There are codes of ethics that all professionals must follow, and correctional officers are no different. So I hope that you enjoy learning about the different ideas of ethics, and I also hope you consider your own ideas. Which one of these systems do you agree with most, deontological or teleological, and why? How did you come to that conclusion that that was going to be your own way of viewing ethics?